looking for. But the big argument that proponents of having any type of rules for athletes usually bring up is what? Coaches' salaries. And right now, looks like Georgia is, according to Mark Schlabach, close to a long-term extension with football coach Kirby Smart, reporting that earlier today. Of course, coming off of the national championship and the first in decades for the Georgia Bulldogs. And it will be interesting to see where, he kind of falls in line as far as the top pay goes, because I don't see any numbers for this new deal that's apparently getting close to being finished. But he had signed a 7-year, $49 million deal back in May of 2018. Just a few things have happened since then, you know, Sugar Bowl win, national championship win, several first-round picks, blah, blah, blah. But Kirby Smart, not that we thought he was going anywhere anyways, but it does look like he's getting close to a long-term deal with Georgia.
Yeah, and look, he's going to get a statue. He's going to get everything there in Georgia because he won something. It was 40 years, 41 years, whatever it was, between national titles at a place that, I'm sure in 1980 thought that was going to happen a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And it just didn't. I mean, they got close, or they get, they're the next wave. They're right there knocking on the door. And nobody was like that other than Georgia, maybe consistently through a couple of coaches over that 40 years.
Not over that time period, yeah. I mean, recently I'd say Oregon has kind of been one of those teams knocking. I mean, even Oklahoma to an extent has knocked a bunch and haven't been able to open that door back to the national title since 2000. But yeah, I mean, and that's I'm sure most of our listeners out there, I mean, for the younger folks, they'll learn this soon enough. They'll learn this in the next few years. But is it not wild? I know Garrett's in our kind of age wheelhouse too. When you hear 1980, and then you hear that was 40 years ago.
I mean, yes, because of the year I was born.
Like,
that was the year I was
born. That was like
born.
10 years ago. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was the year I was born. So, yeah, I feel it every time I hear, that didn't happen since 1980. Well,
4 decades was 1980? Like, what? That just blows my mind when I hear that. But that's...
Not only that, when Georgia had won that day, I was still not born. I was gestational.
Well, they did finally break that streak, obviously, and Kirby Smart's going to be rewarded for it. So we'll see what the final deal is and what those numbers look like, and then how that plays into the argument about coaches' salaries and players getting paid and all of that. And it's a valid point to bring up. In terms of coaching staff,